Well, hello there, all you amazing people, and welcome to my basement where all us nerds gather and do crazy things. And talk about crazy things, not always tech, but mostly tech related. And this is a little bit of a subject around technology, but not about technology, because I had this conversation with an amazing person the other day, and that is, about if you are on a spectrum or are, what is it, the correct term nowadays, neurodivergent or not neurotypical. People come up with words for things that should just be simple to massively complicate them. But anyway, and we had this talk, and I was like, I actually prefer talking to non-normal people. I don't like talking to normal people. I do have my reservations, my gripes, my irritation with the nerd culture, which is mostly people watching my videos, of course, tech nerds and stuff like that. And I should maybe make a video about that. But even though I have those little reservations, little irritations, I still prefer talking to a nerd or a non-neurotypical person than a neurotypical person. Again, I hope those are the right words. Or basically, I rather want to talk to a nerd that has lacking some social skills or have difficulties with some social skills or are maybe on the autistic spectrum versus talking to a person that has everything put together and well put together and so on and so on. Hashtag not all, of course. This is not like, this goes for everyone. So if you're like, oh, well, I'm, know this person that's neurotypical and they're amazing. Like, yeah, I know the same people. Like, I know amazing neurotypical people. But in general, for the most part, the vast majority of times, etc., etc. I don't know why I have to say this on the internet, but I have to, because the internet takes everything literally, apparently. I don't know if nuances got lost like the last 10 years when they were outside looking at the sun and got their eyes burns or something like that. So why is it? And why do I think a lot of you guys and girls and aliens and robots would find it interesting? Well, I can talk from my experience, and some may relate and some may not relate, and I'm mainly just curious to see if some of you relates to this. So let me put it in really simple ways, or as simple as I can, because I'm massively stupid, but I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. I am on the spectrum. There are things, quirks I do or say, there are behaviors I do that is because of I am on the spectrum. And luckily enough, they are not that massively out of the norm, but they're still out of the norm. I have somewhat hard time in some situation figuring things out when it's social situations, stuff like that. What I have noticed in my long time on this earth is that neurotypical people, they will go up to you and say, oh, you are weird, or tell their friends that, oh, this is this weird dude over there, or he's a little bit crazy and stuff like that, but then try to explain to them, but we accept them and we still like to talk to him or her and stuff like that. And what I have noticed is that that's just not the case. Neurotypical people, or normal people in quotes, they love using people with mental health, disabilities, or anything, wrong in their brain as a token almost. You hear a lot of companies going out and say, oh, we hire a lot of people that are neurodivergent and blah, blah, blah. We do our best to make them feel at home and stuff like that. And again, hashtag not all, but most of the places where people say that, and I look into it, they are just doing it for the token. They're just doing it for the perceived notion of we are the good people. We are doing something good. Because 9 out of 10 times or 8 out of 10 times when I talk to someone that is quote unquote normal, they will be like, yeah, we get it, we understand it, we still want to talk to you, and you're still welcome and stuff like that, while on the same time talking to everyone about you, highlighting that you are different, highlighting that you are not like them. So every time you do something that's not typical or a little bit outside the norm, they make sure to, I guess, to be nice or to be a white knight, or I don't know, but they go out of their way to explain to their friends or people around, oh, well, it's okay, he or she is on the spectrum, or something like that. We don't need to get people to understand that. We don't need to be told everywhere we go that have a big sign overhead saying, hello, someone threw a spanner into my brain at some point in my life when I got born. So treat me different. Almost nobody wants that. Even people that do have problems with their brain, they don't want it. They just want to be treated like a normal human being. But these normal people, neurotypical people, they love to highlight it. And my guess is it's because it makes them look good. It's a brownie point. It's a token point. Why do I love to talk with nerds or other people that are dealing with stuff mentally and stuff like that? over normal people, well, they will say, oh, you're weird. They will be like, I may not like you that much, but here's the thing. They will accept you. Normal people say they accept you, but they don't, for the most part. Nerds, social awkward people, people on the spectrum, and so on, they may not like you, but they will respect you because they have dealt or are dealing with some kind of the same things. So they can kind of understand your situation. Again, they may not like you, they may not want to talk to you, or they do, but they accept you. They respect you for who you are. They listen to you. They don't just put you into a booth and say, oh, this is this weird ass dude or dudette over there, like the normal people do. Some normal people are subtle about it. They are really good at covering it up, but it's actually more the norm than it is. But with all of this advancement in mental health awareness and mental health understanding and stuff like that, I will go out on a limb and say 90% of people that advocate for it, use the hashtags, go on to social media and make company profiles about how neurodivergent friendly their company is, they're just doing it to make themselves look good. Because when you go down to the dirty deeds where they have to actually perform, they don't. When you are around them, they are making sure that everyone around you know that you are the odd one, you are the outcast, you are the non-normal, in quotes, you are the one everyone should like walk on eggshells around or treat differently. I don't know for you all, but for me, I don't want to be treated differently. I just want to be treated like everyone else. If something bothers me, I will either remove myself from the situation or say it. Mostly I will just remove myself from the situation, or I will not be coming up to the, the next company picnic or something like that. But from my long experience in talking with other people that are neurodivergent and stuff like that, and working with a lot of people that have all kind of mental health issues, they just want to be treated normally. They don't want to be put on a pedestal and everyone is looking at them like you're fucking a circus monkey trying to perform a bit in front of them. And then you have your so quote-unquote friend or ally or advocate pointing fingers at you and telling everyone all the things that's wrong with you. Like, just treat me like a normal fucking human being. If I do a quirky stuff or something like that, we kind of know it in a lot of instances. Or then just go up to us and say, you know what, are you okay? You know what? What's going on here? And then, oh, I thought, this was normal, or, oh, I messed with the situation or something like that, Even normal people don't want, like, imagine, like, I'm coming in there, this is Michael, he's a really normal person. He likes fishing, shooting, in the local shooting club. He's really into tentacle porn. Sometimes he likes to, dress up in an anime suit and run around and hunt squirrels in the backyard. Nobody wants, get their quote-unquote not dirty, but nobody wants to get personal stuff aired like that. Everyone just wanted to be treated like a normal, in quotes, or average human being. So do people with mental disability, mental health issues, and stuff like that. If you have anxiety, if you have depression, and everywhere you go, you have your quote-unquote, I don't know if they call them ally, but your mental health friend, telling everyone around you that, oh, yeah, this is my friend. He's a little bit naughty, He's a little bit weird. If you don't talk too much about certain things, or he will be, like, running off the walls or something like that. That's making us worse, because you are highlighting everything that we don't like about ourselves. And we know this for the most part. It just irritates me that the people that everyone looks down on in society, nerd culture has always had like a little bit of a massive negative stigma around it. And sometimes it's valid. There is a lot of nerds that are massively bigoted, close-minded, angry, and just hate humans or the opposite sex and stuff like that. I get it. But they, in a lot of instances, is also some of the most accepting people. Because a lot of them, they understand. And what I mean by understand is nobody understands another person's mental health problems. Even if they're going through the same shit. Because it's so individually different. Because our brains are so different. Our experience, our environments, the way we grew up are massively different. So therefore we don't understand it 100%. Like I hate when a neurotypical or normal person like, oh, you have anxiety, depression, PTSD, I totally understand you. You don't even understand like 1% of it. And that's me being generous here. That's me being nice. We might as well just come from fucking Mars and try to probe your butt and look like aliens because you don't understand. I have this really good story I tend to tell everyone I have a lot of friends that have anxiety and depression. I like those friends, there's nothing against them. Then I got anxiety and depression, like not more than normal. I had a period with massive depression and massive anxiety. I still have anxiety to this day. But up till it really infected me, it was manageable. And I thought I knew how it was to have massive depression. Everyone knows how it is to be depressed. But having depression and being depressed is like you live here on Earth, you're taking a shower or dip in the local ocean versus living in Venus, having fucking apparatus to breathe the air and having your own language. It's two so different worlds that you might as well not be the same species coming from the same, universe, to be honest. And I thought I understood depression. I have helped a lot of people with depression before I got into a massive depressive episode myself. But when I got into it, I understood or learned how little I actually knew about it. Because I looked at depression from a being depressed state. Meaning, everyone has experienced being depressed. You lose your job, your wife, husband, kid gets sick, your dog gets sick, your cat gets sick, we all experience being depressed, someone leaves us, we get into a fight with someone we love or like, we all have experienced being depressed. That is massively different from having depression. One thing you can cope with, you can manage, you can get out of, kinda easy, or you can do something about being depressed. Having depression, it's something that can take years or decades with medication and therapy and stuff like that to get out of. Because that's where there is something, I hate saying wrong, but something different when you're with your brain versus being depressed. That's human nature. Everyone gets depressed. We all have our own little things we do when we are depressed or are sad. But having depression, totally fucking different. The same with anxiety. Everyone gets anxiety. That's part of our fight and flight responses. But imagine you cannot turn that off and you don't know when it's getting activated. And all of the tools you have that you do as a, in quote, normal person to deal with when, oh my God, I'm a little bit anxious right now, won't work because your brain don't work like people that don't have clinical anxiety. It's night and day. You can understand a little bit about it. The more you talk with people and stuff like that, you can get it a little bit. I have talked to psychiatrists that had no fucking clue what they were talking about, even though they have years and years and years of experience with depression, anxiety, autism, stuff like that, because they have not experienced it. They have read a lot of books, talked to a lot of people, and have probably, I would say, a little bit better understanding than the everyday person. But it's not even close. They're just like, well, this works on this many people, so therefore it should work on you. That's how they come across. They look at it as a an engine that's broken, which in my case is no, the engine is not broken. If you have some form of mental disability, look at it like instead of an engine, let's keep it techie here. It's like your computer comes from the factory looking normal, but something is broken somewhere in the computer. It could be the CPU, the motherboard, the GPU, the power supply, you don't know. But something in there's just not right. Most of the time, or a lot of time, it functions really well and good and great. But it has, those little quirks. Sometimes it blue screens or randomly restarts or starts itself up or starting to smoke out of the blue. But other than that, it works perfectly fine. And you can't change anything on it to fix it. You can't just take the CPU out and fix it. In this scenario, everything is just sorted on a motherboard. But it's working enough that you don't want to return it, because when it works amazingly well. But once in a while, sometimes more than others, it has these little quirks and ticks and do these weird things. And for a lot of people, they look at people like me like, oh, we can fix them. Oh, it's just a matter of giving them tools which will help. Of course, don't get me wrong here. But the thing is, if you really, really suffer from clinical mental health issues, in the day we live in today, you can't just take part of your brain out and replace it with something new. You can learn tools and get training in how to handle yourself in those situations. But look at it a little bit like this. And this is something I have experienced also, is that someone like me that is on the spectrum, or someone that has clinical depression or clinical anxiety and stuff like that. What is it that is being worked on the most? What is it that is being changed the most? It's not society's acceptance, because we kind of are like, in quote, accepted. No, society tries to fix us. like I said, like a broken computer engine. They're trying to change the CPU. They are giving us tools so we can act more like everyone else, so we can function more with everyone else. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but in reality, society is like, oh, we have this broken human. Let's make them fit into our society. Why not just let them be who the fuck they are? Of course, get them help if they need it, give them medicine if they need it, but don't try to fix us, because you can't. We can try to become in a better state so we can be, more part of society, of course. We should, and it's a good idea and it's a good plan. But a lot of normal people, when they talk to you and they look at you, they want to fix you. Just listen to this happy music, do something that makes you happy, socialize more. We have all heard their idea of how to fix something, because they look at it like, this is what I do when I am depressed, sad, have anxiety, or being, in a fight and flight mode and stuff like that. But they forget that the way that their computer works is not how my computer works. And I can't take their part and put it into my computer, because it just don't work like that. And that's where a lot of, in quotes, normal people, they get it massively wrong. Even educated people and people that comes from a good place with a good, kind heart, and they just want to help, they are doing more harm in a lot of instances than good, if you ask me. Good example here is like socialization. For people like me, and this is just in my case, I have a lot of socialization in me some days, and other days I just want to be left alone. And then if I have a period where I'm like, oh my god, for like a week or a month, I have a lot of socialization in me. My socialization battery is like topped up to 200%. And then there's a week or 2 weeks where I'm like, I need to recharge that social battery again. So yeah, I will do my things and talk to people, but I kind of want to just keep being myself for a little bit and only being around people that I like being around and that help me charge that battery. People I love and trust. But that doesn't mean that if I'm at a gathering or at work and stuff like that, I may not participate or be part of a lot of the social activities for like a week or something like that. And then those understanding people, they're like, oh, why are you not coming down and talking to us? Why are you not going out for this trip with us? Why are you not doing this? Can we do something? Is there something wrong? Yeah, just understand that I need to be alone. Nothing you say or do can change that. And the more you come and put it in my face that, oh, we really, really want you, we expected you, or it would be nice, that's pressure that you're putting on someone like me, that, well, we notice you're not here, we feel that's not normal, therefore you must be broken or something must be wrong, therefore let me try to fix you. So you're confronting us with or at least me, in being in that situation where I just want to be with 1 or 2 people I really, really like to talk to, or be alone, instead of just say, oh, get it, totally understand it, and walk away. No, a lot of the understanding and ally and we are focused on mental health people, they try to fix you in that moment. And in that moment, most of us, we don't want to be fixed. We can't be fixed. Most of us hopefully understand why we are in that period. If you're manic depressive, you have like a manic mode and a depressive mode. It's the same with, if you just have anxiety. Some days you're more anxious than others, What we do need is just people to understand it. It's that simple. Don't try to explain to everyone how all our faults and differences are, because you think that will help us. It won't. Again, more stress, more spotlight. You're like this token monkey being held up, Look, I have a dancing monkey here, but treat him right, We don't want that. Just treat us like everyone else. If your spouse is having a bad day, you don't go up to them and like, let me fix you, and then just press the fucking issue all the time. You may have a talk with them at some point, but if they want to be left alone, a normal person will leave a normal person alone if they want to be left alone. A normal person will not leave a non-normal person alone if they want to be left alone. Because now they think we need to fix them, because they are apparently broken. No, we just have a little bit oversaturated normal response to things that everyone else is doing. Ours is just, we want to be really social in some instances, or we just want to be really left alone. Or only being with, like in my case, I have a few people that I can be with 24/7 and it won't bother me at all. Like I don't know how depressed or sad or down I am. There are a few people I want you around no matter what, because they help me recharge. And that's because they understand me. And some of those people, if not all of them, are dealing with something on their own. We get each other to some degree. And we don't even have to talk about it or explain it. We just get each other. And that's where the normal people, in my opinion, they go a little bit bonkers because they try so hard to do the right thing and to understand that they're doing all the wrong things. Anyway, this is a long ass one. Had a lot I want to talk about. See you all later. Bye bye.